everyone to another segment of Burnt Coverage. I'm your host, Curtis.
And I am Joel.
And we will be giving you the best picks that you could ever imagine for your weekly and daily fantasy forecast for the NFL Week 6. Do you want to lead off in a nice defense that you like this week?
I will lead off with a nice defense that I like. I'm gonna start off with the Jets of New York. New York Jets playing Washington. So start off prices. They're going for $4,800 on FanDuel, $3,100 on DraftKings. So New York Jets have already had their bye, we know. So they played 4 games. In 4 games, they have 7 sacks, 6 interceptions, and 7 fumble recoveries. I'm here to do that math for you. That is 13 forced turnovers, best in the NFL. And what happens when you get the best defense in forcing turnovers, coupled with the quarterback that is best at turning the ball over, and Kirk Cousins, you have fantasy goodness. I really think that the Jets take this game, and I think it's going to be the defense that really steers this game away and makes this a blowout. I don't like the Jets as a team long term, but I think their defense is a formidable defense, as the most Jets teams have in recent years. And Kirk Cousins is not a good quarterback.
Usually each week there's somebody that we both come in with and we both like, and we have to decide who's going to talk about them. Usually I give my strongest pick to Joel because he doesn't really have great picks, and really I think the Jets are a fantastic pick this week. It's hard to argue not playing them against across the board. The Redskins are just not good. They
not good? That means they're good. Double negative.
That was just a stutter. Don't make fun of my stutter, Joel. They are not good. I know you're thinking, well, the high power Atlanta Falcons offense last week, they went to overtime. Well, the high power Atlanta Falcons offense was cut off at the knees because Julio Jones and Henderson were both hindered with injuries. And this week they're facing 2 very good wide receivers in Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker. Also Chris Ivory, think what you will, but he is at least a capable running back in the NFL. Check out other segments to see what we think about him. But yeah, I like the Jets controlling this game, especially being at home and coming off the bye. It's just a recipe for disaster for Washington.
Yeah, I definitely see a pick 6 in this game. Yeah, I mean, I think we've agreed on so as you probably have picked up on, we have a little pre-segment before we start airing. And we go over what team. We don't really communicate on what teams we want before we get together to shoot. And this week we agreed on a lot of things in position wise, and this is one of the most obvious ones that we agree on.
I'm actually struggling to play other defenses besides the Jets because I just really see at their price and just influx. Washington.
Well, you just want to skip because they also know that in addition to being the running back guru of the show, the right side of the couch is also the defensive guru of the show. So we can just blow off your picks. I can go into my second pick if you'd like. I have no problem with that.
No, because I sat down and Joel's like, I can't figure out any defenses this week. I'm like, take the Jets. And I told him exactly what he should say, and he said them. So
does that sound like me?
Kudos to Joel for taking the Jets.
John, Mike, the 3 guys.
Screw it. I actually do have a solid defense that I'm going to pick. I have 2, but I'm going to start with one of them.
And start with both.
Now I'll start with just one of them, and that's the Cincinnati Bengals. They are the undefeated Bengals. Yes, I said that. Yeah, so far this year, undefeated.
Amazing.
All the things that we questioned about the Bengals, they have proved that they can succeed in. The running game, even with Hill struggling, Bernard stepped in and done well. The passing game has been fantastic. Andy Dalton really looks like the Pro Bowl Pro Bowl quarterback that he's somehow been every year. this team is good, and I wouldn't want to play them if I were another AFC team. Outside of the Steelers with a healthy Ben, I don't think anybody in New England, of course, really gives them a run for their money. And they're playing a Buffalo offense, granted in Buffalo, that struggled against the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans have been a decent defense, surprisingly, but nowhere near the near shutout they pitched against Buffalo. Yes, I know, Buffalo did come back in that game. But now we're getting a Buffalo team that's probably without their starter, Tyrod Taylor, this week with a knee injury, and that brings E.J. Manuel, which is nothing but good news for the Cincinnati defense. And even if Tyrod Taylor does play, he's going to be hindered from his running capability, which really makes him the fantasy darling that he has been so far. So he'll be stuck in the pocket, and his best receiver, Sammy Watkins, is also injured and may not play this week. And if he does, probably won't be at full strength. His best running back, LaShawn McCoy, is also injured and probably won't play. His second best running back, Carlos Williams, also dealing with injuries, probably won't be 100%. So at least third string, Boobie Dixon, who isn't good. Also, and then fourth string, Dan Herron, who was cut by the Colts. You see where I'm going with this. There's not really quality weapons here that the Buffalo Bills have to play with. Cincinnati is a good team, on the verge of being a great team. I think they're going to show it this week against Buffalo. And they're $3,000 in DraftKings, $4,700 in FanDuel. Just a touch cheaper than the Jets. Granted, that doesn't mean, like I said, it's hard for me not to play the Jets for just $100 more. But if you are anti-Jets for some reason or are questioning, maybe you want to play Cincinnati this week.
Yes, I have been. I don't know. I still have such a hard time believing that Cincinnati is for real. I said it to you last week. I might have to stop talking bad about Andy Dalton, but I still can't. My gut tells me that Andy Dalton is not a good quarterback, and I really think that maybe this is a trap game because of the amount of injuries with Buffalo. And I don't know. Like, I can't argue. I can't go against the pick that strongly, but I don't. It's really, really difficult for me to put so much confidence in Cincinnati. They're an undefeated team. I get it, and they deserve all the accolades that they're getting at this point in the season. Granted, it's still very early, but yeah.
I think the trap game thing, if you do believe that, I'd have to believe that the trap game would be that Andy Dalton just falls apart at the seams, which would actually mean that you think that Buffalo is a good play this week, which I don't think, and I'm not advocating that. I don't, because there's just no offensive weapons on the Buffalo side right now. And
E.J. Manuel.
So you're advocating E.J. Manuel over Andy Dalton?
Well, Andy Dalton is calling you right now because he's very upset about this whole conversation.
The Red Rocket and I go way back.
A Red Rocket and you go way back.
Yeah. I was the Horned Frog at TCU. My mascot for a number of years. You just don't recognize because I don't have the costume on.
Got a full ride out of it.
But yeah, and not a scholarship.
That was good.
But the Bengals are, I think, for real. That comeback win against the championship caliber Seattle Seahawks, I think proved it. So yeah, good luck Buffalo this week.
Yeah, we'll see. I can't do it. You got anything else for that?
Nah.
All right, I'll move on. I've gone back to the well twice this week in previous segments, or actually 3 times, with various positions. And so, why not? Why not do it again with defense? I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos playing the Browns of Cleveland. In Cleveland, Denver Broncos are the best defense in football, fantasy or fake, or real, fantasy or real. So they've got 22 sacks in 5 games, 7 interceptions, and 7 fumble recoveries, with 3 touchdowns. They're going for the price of $5,000 on FanDuel and 34 on DraftKings. Sorry, Josh McCown. This is where your right ends. You had a good September. A little bit of October. It's not going to happen. You're Josh McCown. You're gonna wake up Sunday morning. You're gonna be like, you're gonna look in the mirror. You're gonna say, "Oh, I'm Josh McCown. I'm not very good." And the Denver Broncos are gonna look at you and say, "Joe, you're Josh McCown. You're not very good."
So your whole argument is Josh McCown's not very good?
Josh McCown's not very good, and Denver Broncos are very good defense.
So a guy that's thrown for 1,000 yards the last 3 weeks isn't very good?
Nope.
That's it.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Josh McCown's very lucky. Josh McCown was... How did he do last year?
Oh, God, let's not talk about it.
Why? That's what we're here to talk about.
Josh McCown wasn't
You're
in last year.
on a couch.
However, the year before with the Bears, he won me quite a bit of money in a 5-touchdown game on Monday night. And I'm not, and don't put me in a position where I have to argue for Josh McCown because I really don't want to be there. Even though I did last week, Josh McCown.
You did.
Good
call.
But this
By
week,
the way, you did call him last week.
But this week, I'm not arguing Josh McCown because I think the Denver defense is the best defense in the league, and it's not a bad play. And the one thing that Cleveland has for them is they do have solid players across the board, no stars except for Joe Hayden. Maybe.
Solid players across the board.
They have a good offensive line, good defensive line. They have Joe Hayden, as I just mentioned. McCown and Barnage is that's working some kind of crazy magic.
Barnage!
Some kind of crazy magic right now. Crowell's has been a decent running back. I don't think the Browns are going to win. I'm not advocating that. I don't think the Broncos are a bad play. However, they're an expensive play, and I think you can get maybe a little cheaper somewhere else.
Yeah, but like Denver last week, like Seattle the week before, sometimes the most expensive defense is your best play because anything else is just a crapshoot.
And you know, if you happen to see the Browns game last week, the Browns sort of won on a Gary Barnage catch between his legs.
Barnage!
So that's not going to happen every week, especially against a great Broncos defense. So.
I'm sorry, I forgot to mention in a previous segment, I'm also the tight end guru.
Yeah. Self-proclaimed everything guru, Joel.
Barnage!
Are you advocating Barnage this week?
No.
Okay. Again, thanks for all those Barnage.
I'm not a Barnage fan, I'm just a tight end guru.
And last and certainly least, I'm going to go to a not so great defense.
Jacksonville.
No, not Jacksonville. Not Jacksonville.
You have not advocated one Jacksonville player this week.
Alan Hearns. Okay, there. Is that better?
As your defense for the week.
No, I'm serious. Alan Hearns is a good play until he breaks 5,500. There we go. All right. Now that I got that out of the way, I can get to my defensive pick, which has nothing to do with the Jacksonville Jaguars. It is the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears used to be a defensive dynasty, however, they're not anymore. And I just wanted to give you someone, if you're thinking, oh, everybody's going to play the Jets, everybody's going to play the Broncos, everybody's going to play these high-end defenses. I got a really nice lineup, and I'm stuck with a low-end defense. Why not play the Bears? Well, here's why you should play the Bears. The Bears are playing the Lions, and I could stop it right there. Matt Stafford has been awful this year. The running game is non-existent. Stafford has been throwing picks left and right. The Bears are coming in at 2,400 in DraftKings, 4,300 in FanDuel. That's bottom of the barrel. And the Bears are actually coming off a game against Kansas City in Kansas City where they played very well. And they played pretty stout defense when it mattered. The Chiefs jumped up in that game. They thought they won it. Then they lost their heart and soul, Jamal Charles. And the Bears the Bears really took advantage of that. Well, there is no heart and soul in the Detroit Lions. Their heart and soul was ripped out when Cam Chancellor ripped out Calvin Johnson's game-winning touchdown at the end of the game. The Lions have been left for dead. The Bears have new hope. I think unwarranted, but they will go in a division game. As we know, division games can be very close anyway. I see a lot of ground control with Matt Forte, as we talked about in another segment. I think the Bears could be very quality play. Now you'll look and see that they haven't been good this year. However, they played good teams already. They played Green Bay. They played in Seattle. Seattle's first home game and got stomped. And Seattle was 0-2 before that. The last 2 weeks, they've actually put up positive points as a defense. I think that'll continue this week against a very bad Detroit offense.
They have gotten progressively better as the season gone on. That is absolutely true. Just if you watch them, I mean, you might not see it statistically on the stat sheets, but if you watch those games from week 1 to present, the Bears defense, they're still not a good defense, but they are much improved from the first week of the season. Matthew Stafford, do you think he gets benched this week?
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. They have too much invested in him. It's the same thing.
But at this point in the season,
it's the Peyton Manning thing. I mean, Stafford's no Peyton Manning. He doesn't have the track record, but they've invested a lot.
Stafford's
in him.
not even an Eli Manning.
I'll say this: if Stafford does get benched this week, he's trade bait for a team like maybe the Texans. They don't have a real solid quarterback thing. If you're going to bench him, you might as well give up on him because you have two fantastic wide receivers.
Well, that's the thing. I think they might be there on the precipice of giving up on him.
They should have won last week. They actually, they won that game last week.
No, they didn't.
It was a half-yard fumble, and if you really want to argue it, the ball got knocked out of the end zone, and it should have been Detroit's ball on the one. That was their game, and they did lose, yes, but they did everything to win that game except win it. That being said, and that's why I think that their heart's just broken. It's going to be bad. They have nothing to play for at this point. The Bears have a little bit of hope, and I think they're going to ride that momentum. And once again, I like the Jets. I like the Bengals. But if you're in a situation where you're the type of person that doesn't like to spend a lot on defense, I think this would be your low-end play.
It's a good cheap play. No, I have no problems with that. Detroit's not very good. Chicago's getting better. They're not, defensively, not offensively. But, yeah, I have no problem with that.
As we like to do, we'll throw out some kickers half-assedly.
Okay. Yeah. Speaking of Chicago, Detroit, let's go. I don't like to spend more than $4,500, which is bare minimum for a kicker. Josh Lambo has been priced out of my range. I've been riding Josh Lambo. He's been the official kicker of burnt coverage the entire season, but he has been promoted from $4,500 to $4,600. So Josh Lambo, best of luck on all of the future fantasy shows that you'll do. But we can no longer promote you on burnt coverage. My $4,500 kicker of the week is Robbie Gould.
Mm-hmm. And that goes right in line with my Bears are gonna show up. So I'm with that. I also like Coons for Cleveland at $4,500.
What's his first name?
Travis.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't think you'd know.
Yeah, good try. It's late, and that was a fair because it might not be Travis.
See, I bought it.
Please let it be Travis. Please let it be Travis. Travis Coons, $4,500 for Cleveland.
Name, Travis Coons.
Against the Broncos. I'm not that person usually, but if you're that person that thinks that they'll get in the field goal range and they're not going to score touchdowns, then maybe this is the Coons week. Whatever. It's an effing kicker. $4,500. Whatever. Don't overthink it.
And you know what that site that is not for? That is not for DraftKings.
That's good, Joel. I'm glad you're learning. And that was our segment on defense and kickers this week. I'm Curtis.
And I'm Joel.
And we hope you will join us next week and check out our other segments this week. and we will see you next time.
Next week on the couch. Enjoy week 6.
See ya.